And a very good evening, everyone, as we welcome you to Belleville and the home of the Althoff Catholic Crusaders, as we are live from the brand new football/soccer facility here at Althoff High School as we get you set for some girls high school soccer as the Althoff Crusaders host your Collinsville Kahawks. I am Todd Duke alongside Chris Kettler. We're glad that you're with us here on the Kahok Sports Network. It is senior night here at Althoff High School, so we may be a little late in getting going as they have 11 seniors that are going to be recognized here before this game actually gets underway. So we waited a little bit longer than normal to go ahead and start the pregame show, which this afternoon is brought to you by Cullinsville Jennings Florist. Cullinsville Jennings Florist is a staple in the Collinsville area, has been for generations. Cullinsville Jennings Florist is located at 517 West Clay Street. You can stop in for weekly specials, or right now their main focus is on Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a week from this coming Sunday, and if you have that special mother in your life, or maybe it's your wife, you know, the mother of your children, you can give them a call at 344-0404 to ask them all about the specials they have to offer, or to order your flowers once you go online to see the selections that they have to offer. And you can do that at CullinsvilleJennings.com. Collinsville comes into this contest with an overall record of 8-9-3. They are 2-2-1 in conference play. Althoff, they're having a stellar year, only 2 losses on the season, 14 wins to go along with those 2 losses, and 4 ties. They are undefeated in conference play. Collinsville coming in, well, Chris Kettler, this number kind of bothers me a little bit because the Kahoks come in averaging scoring 2 goals a game and averaging giving up 2 goals a game. So that means that they're involved in a lot of tight matches.
Yeah, they're either tight one way or the other. They had some that 1 or 2 that were blowouts, but most of them have been very tight games. Saw them play Ladue a couple weeks ago, and that was another tight one. Late goal tied the game up, and then it was 1-0 the other day up against Triad, and then me and you were together in Granite, and that was another tight one. So the Kahoks have a mixed bag of results, wins, losses, and ties, but every game is a close one.
It sure is, and Althoff comes in averaging scoring 4.3 goals a game, so they have lots of offense, do the Lady Crusaders. Matter of fact, they have 3 of their girls that are over or at 20 goals a year, and one of them is a freshman. The one who's leading the team is a sophomore, and the other one who has 20 goals exactly is a senior. So they have firepower coming from all classes, averaging 4.3 goals per game, and their defense is pretty stingy too, just a little bit over a goal a game at 1.15. So big matchup, non-conference style, coming up here for the Kahawks and the Crusaders. Crusaders, this is their senior night, so their last home game. They have 1 more game left Saturday versus Alton Marquette, before they open up their Class 1A playoff push. That'll be at Freeburg this coming Tuesday against Mount Carmel, while Collinsville will still have 2 games left after tonight. Both home games against Springfield on Tuesday, and then 1 week from tonight against Belleville East before the Kahawks start their playoff push against Belleville East at O'Fallon, and that'll start 1 week and 1 day after Althoff starts their playoff push. Collinsville's playoff game is scheduled for Wednesday, May the 16th at 7 p.m. I had a chance a little bit earlier to catch up with Collinsville head coach Clay Smith into his 8th year as the head dog of the Collinsville Ladies Soccer Club, and we'll pass along that conversation to you next as the Cullinsville Jennings Florist pregame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network. And we welcome you back into the Cullinsville Jennings Florist pregame show here on the Kahawks Sports Network. We are on the road. Final time in the regular season that we're on the road following your Lady Kahawks soccer team, as we're at Althoff High School tonight, getting a look at their brand new football/soccer facility. Looks pretty nice, but let's find out what Collinsville head coach Clay Smith thinks. This is your first time with your girls playing on this field. I know you haven't played yet, but being out there, what do you think?
It's beautiful. It's you can tell it's a new turf field. It's their They're the first team to play on it, which is nice. It's a little thicker than ours, so it'll play true to the role. Yeah, I like it. It's a nice facility.
I see just by looking at it, and I walked across it myself, that that rubbery, chalky substance that they throw down here, which all these new fields have it, but over the years it kind of wears away, and Collinsville doesn't have that problem anymore. Do you foresee this as maybe being a problem if this stuff kicks up and gets in these girls' eyes?
No, it's okay. They're used to playing on this kind of stuff, and with it being wet, it'll stay down a little bit tonight, so it's all right.
And these new fields drain very well, but how are they with the wetness? Are they slicker than a normal grass field is?
Yeah, the ball will skip a little bit, and you can see, too, when they're playing this JV game, water comes off the bottom of it and sprays up. But with this wind, I imagine it might be dried off by the time our varsity game starts, as long as the weather stays away. So we should be okay.
All right, let's go backwards in time. Last game we did with you was the game against Highland, a big 7-0 win for you. Courtney Martin gets the hat trick, but you also got a couple of goals from first-time goal scorers in Baluli and Harris. So I know you've been looking for more girls to score some goals, so that was nice to see.
Yeah, that was nice, and it was nice, too. We gave a lot of girls some minutes, and it was nice to look down the bench and see some girls that aren't normally there just to give them a little bit of a rest, get some other girls some confidence going into the postseason, just because you never know what's going to happen. So we moved some people around and tried up a different formation here and there. But yeah, it was nice to see girls step up and put the ball in net.
Defensively, that was probably the best game I've ever seen you play. I didn't look at the numbers, but I would be hard-pressed to think that there was even a shot on goal.
Yeah, there wasn't. I told Claire it's the first time I've ever put in a stats where she had a shutout and she didn't even touch the ball. So, yeah, we played well. We looked organized. We were talking. We were on top of our game, and then that carried over in the triad game as well. I thought we did well defensively there, too, with a fast, speedy team like they had. So hopefully we just keep it going day by day here.
Well, that was my next question leading up to that. The triad game, 1-0 loss to a team that won a state championship last year, so you can't be too entirely upset with a very close score and a very good game.
Yeah, we played well. We had chances to score. We hit the crossbar a couple times, and we had the better of the play, I thought, the majority of the game. It was a very, very physical game on Triad's part. I think it ended up maybe 5 or 6 yellows and 1 red card for them versus 0 for us. So I was happy the way our girls kept our composure and play through the elements. And we had every chance in the world to tie it in the first half, and then every chance in the world to tie it and win it in the second. We just made some mistakes in the final third of the field that we learned from. So it was a good non-conference game for us.
Speaking of non-conference, you have another one here against Althoff, but just because they're non-conference doesn't mean they're not familiar. You guys play each other every year, going back to your very first year. That was the only year you have lost against these guys.
Yeah, it's been a great rivalry. Coach Jurgen's a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a while, so it's always nice to come and play him, and it's nice to play him on their home field. They've never had a home field to call their own. They played the Belleville Sportsplex. They played at McKendree. For the last 7 years, they've come to our place and played because he just said we might as well just play on a nice field. So it's nice to come here and play them. They're a very good team. They're well coached. They're getting good results. They only have 2 losses. So it'll be a tough game for us tonight. They're going to be ready to play. And it's their senior night, so they'll be fired up.
Yeah, and that very first year when you lost, I guess we can all forgive you for that because that year they went 27-0 and won a state championship themselves.
Yeah, that's when they were on the run, and that's the so-called glory days of Althoff soccer. They were beating everybody, but the next year when we beat them, we did ruin their game-winning streak. So that's a pretty memorable game at Kahok Stadium.
All right, so you have this year's version, which not doing too bad. They've already matched their win total from last year at 14, and after tonight's senior night game, they only have 1 game left because their playoffs start a week early. So this is an important game for not only you and them.
Yeah, it is. When we talked about it, we were worried with the weather what we were going to do if we could even get it in because they're 1A and they start 2 weeks ahead of us. So, but they're playing very well. They have some girls that can put the ball in the net. I mean, if you look at their stats, they have a couple girls with 20-plus goals already. So we'll have our hands full there. They're well organized in the back. Their goalkeeper plays hard. I'm just hoping we come out tonight and can match their enthusiasm. I think a triad. Our girls knew it was going to be a tough game because, anybody that's going to play us this year needs to beat us, and we understand that, but we just have trouble matching the other team's enthusiasm to get up and play one another, and it just takes us a while to get going. So hopefully from the beginning whistle we can come out and match that and get one in early. That would be nice.
All right, one non-soccer question for you. We are in Belleville, home of the Belleville News-Democrat. Most of us found out the last couple of days that Dave Wilhelm's last week will be next week, and I don't know about you, but there's not a classier guy in the world of newspaper than Dave Wilhelm.
Yeah, Dave's a great guy, and I've come to know Dave closely from his coverage of our soccer team, and he's always treated us fairly, and he's done great things, with the Southwestern Conference as a whole. I've got to know Dave better through my assistant AD work, and he's just a tremendous local guy that does good things for our student athletes, and not just Collinsville, but locally, all in the metro area and the conference. So we're losing a good one, man. I hope he lands on his feet and stays somehow connected. And I know he misses the bonds with the kids and the coaches. And I had a chance to talk to him yesterday a little bit, and he'll be fine. But he's a class act right there, man. That Dave guy, he does a great job.
Yeah, unfortunately, all this wave of modern-day technology is kind of leaving the newspaper world behind, which kind of bums me out. I'm a newspaper guy.
Yeah, I'm not a newspaper guy, so I don't want to tell Dave. Sorry, Dave, but you're right. You see less and less people read the newspaper. So, yeah, the world of technology is just a thing the way it's coming along. Everybody gets their news online, and we get our stats online, and people can watch our games online. It's just the way the world is.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot. Good luck out there tonight, Coach.
All right. Thanks. Stay warm in that press box.
Oh yeah. That's Coach Clay Smith of your Collinsville Kahoks. We'll take a break here on the Philip Jennings Flores pregame show. When we come back, we'll pass the starting lineups to you, and we'll have not first pitch. This is baseball, softball, soccer. We'll get started here on the Kahok Sports Network. Once again, we welcome you back into the Philip Jennings Flores pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. It is senior night here at Althoff High School as your Collinsville Kahawks take on the Althoff Lady Crusaders. All right, so we told you about how many games each team has left. Let's see recent history. Althoff has won 5 games in a row coming into tonight's contest. 2 ties, so they have not lost a game. in 7 straight. Their last loss, as a matter of fact, was on April the 12th versus Belleville West. They also have lost to Edwardsville this year, so they have 2 losses against Southwestern Conference teams, and they have 2 wins against Southwestern Conference teams as they have beaten O'Fallon and Belleville East. Collinsville is 3-2-1 in their last 6 games. The last game they had was that 1-0 loss at Triad against the defending Class 2A champs after that 7-0 win over Highland, in which Courtney Martin had a hat trick in that game. And you'll have to forgive me for a minute because this is the first time we're hearing the lineups for Althoff. So bear with us.
Well, they have 11 seniors, so maybe they might start all seniors. Maybe if that's possible. There's a goalkeeper in there. If the formations could come correctly or something, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, well, that's normally the case. So far, that is all seniors.
Senior at defense, number 17, Sophie Munkin.
All seniors maybe announcing here.
So far.
And a midfielder, senior number 20, Madeline Goraz.
Abby Lantner next.
Defender, number 21, Abby Lantner.
Oh, yeah. Well, what? They said she's a sophomore, but she's listed on here as a senior.
And a senior in the midfield, number 26, Madison Egigian.
Looks like
Junior
Kahoks.
midfielder, number 27, Anderson Foster.
First time I've seen Cyberly starting for the Kahoks.
Senior forward, number 28, Jessica Hoffman. And finally, senior midfielder, number 38, Yving Wang.
All right, I have. That's too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Somebody's not playing. 1, 2, 3.
We got 11 out there.
Yeah. I must have circled one that I wasn't thinking of. Okay, anyway, let's get back to where we were here. Class 3A playoffs coming up for Collinsville Wednesday the 16th versus Belleville East. Class 1A playoffs coming up for Freeburg this coming Tuesday against Mount Carmel. And, of course, the Althoff Crusaders looking for their second state championship. They won one of those back in 2010. That was Coach Smith's first year as the head guy of the Lady Kahawks. And Coach Smith lost that first game against Althoff, but has not lost against the Crusaders since then. That year in 2010, Althoff had a 27-0 record, so they beat everybody, so nothing for Coach Smith to feel bad about as they went on to take first place that year. They took second in 2008, and they took third in 2005. That was Coach Jürgen Hütner's very first year at the helm here at Althoff, so he's got a couple of trophies in the trophy case already, does the Althoff coach, entering now his 14th year. They went 14-8-1 last year. They won their regional championship, but they ended up losing in sectional play. So the history over these two teams for the last 18 years, they do play each other once a year. Collinsville has 10 wins and 8 losses. Coach Smith is 7-1 in that time. And the way that it breaks down is that for the first few years, Collinsville won. From 2000 to 2002, Collinsville won 3 in a row. From 2003 to 2010, Althoff won 7 in a row. And since that loss, the year that Althoff won the championship, Collinsville has won 7 in a row. So we'll see if one of these teams can continue that streak and make it 8 in a row, or are we going to have a streak buster and start a new streak? We will find out here momentarily because we are ready to get underway. Claire Rendelman is going to be in between the pipes for Collinsville. She'll be in the goal to our right. In front of her, Jalen Richardson, Lexi Munoz, Mariah Siverly, Courtney Martin, Destiny Johnson, Katie Knudsen, Faith Liljegren, Alyssa Tucker, Paige Bauer, and Bella Hensler. Rachel Monken is the goalkeeper for the Althoff Crusaders. She'll have the duties to the net to our left, and in front of her, Lindsay Odell, Julia O'Neill, Callison Ames, Amanda Jackson, Sophia Monken, Madeline Goraz, Abby Lantner, Madison Gigian, Anderson Foster, and Jessica Hoffman. We are underway. Collinsville, of course, the road team. They are dressed in all purple, whites around the sleeves and a little stripes, and the numbers on the backs and the fronts of their jerseys are in white. Crusaders, they are the home team, and they are wearing their white uniforms. The numbers on their backs are in gold, trimmed in a little bit of dark blue, makes it a little bit easier to see. And they have the word Crusaders, or Althoff, I think, across the backs, and Althoff right now putting some pressure in the offensive zone here for Collinsville. But here is Destiny Johnson trying to relieve that pressure, gets the ball up to Faith Liljegren, who then finds Knutson. Knutson moves the ball up now to Alyssa Tucker. Tucker trying to move it up to Courtney Martin. Martin does a nice job fending off her defender, and now she gets the ball all the way over here to the near side for Faith Liljegren. Liljegren puts a centering pass through. It's off of a body out front. A shot by Destiny Johnson, and a nice save there by Rachel Monken. And Althoff saves one from going in there.
It's all set up there when Tucker had all that space in the middle there, and she worked to the outside to Liljegren, who cleared it into the box, and the Kahoks got the shot off.
Again, a big thank you to Culp Jennings Florist for sponsoring our pregame show. Always nice to hear from the folks at Culp Jennings Florist as they are set for another busy week, Mother's Day. What is about 2 months on the heels of Valentine's Day? That's about enough rest for the florist people in the world, don't you think?
They're always busy.
They are. Lexi Munoz gets the ball back to the defense for Paige Bauer. Bauer moves it up with a bouncing ball that's going to run all the way up the far side sideline, and Althoff is going to get there first. It is going to be Sophia Monken. And Collinsville gets the ball back, and here is Knutson. Knutson sends a laser beam to the goal, and a hand slap stop there by Rachel Monken. And after Althoff had the ball into their offensive zone to start off with, Collinsville has put on a couple of quality shots here since then.
Laser beam of a shot from Knutson just died at the last minute into the goalie's hands for Althoff.
There is a very stiff wind blowing here, in case you didn't hear that during the pregame show interview with Coach Smith as we did that one on the sidelines. The wind is blowing from the north end zone straight to the south end zone. So for this first half, Collinsville will have that big gusty wind at their back. So this will be a good time for them to get some goals in before they have to shoot against a stiff wind. Here is Faith Liljegren. Liljegren gets stuffed right at the meeting point between her and Monken. And Liljegren is still on the ground. Now she gets up and brings herself back into the field of play. And now we have a whistle that will end up stopping the action right at midfield.
Good chance right in front of the goalie for Liljegren. It was just a little too slow for her to shake the defender before she got that one-on-one with the goalie.
Yeah, if the ball would have been just a little bit slower, she could have got there first and maybe had a better quality of a chance. By the way, failed to tell you, the JV team won 2-1. Collinsville scored both of their goals in the second half. Althoff scored their lone goal in the first half.
That ball right there just died in the wind.
It sure did. And you're gonna get that when it heads to the right. When it goes to the left, you'll get some zip behind it. Here is Richardson, who shoots the ball all the way across the field. And you can see they put some balloons up all the way across the field for senior night, but those balloons really don't stand a chance here in this wind. I saw a guy on 159 when I was on the way up here standing waiting for the bus with an umbrella. That umbrella was almost toast by the time that bus got there, I'm sure.
I saw one of them earlier today at work. Somebody's umbrella did not survive.
No. It's been a very windy, gusty day. Had some thunderstorms move through about 3 a.m. Had a little break for the rain for a good part of the morning, and then it came back this afternoon. Right now we are rain-free, just a little bit windy and a lot cloudy. But temperatures are still comfortable right now in the upper 60s as play takes place all the way across the other side, and that ball is going to end up going out of bounds. Let's go ahead and thank some more of our sponsors. How about Mike and Nancy Cluck, proud graduates of Collinsville High School. Now they are proud owners of their very own Allstate agency. It's in Glen Carbon, and it's called the Cluck Family Allstate Agency, and they are eager for your business. You can stop in for a free quote there at the office right across the street from the IHOP on 159 as you enter Glen Carbon, or you can give them a call for a free quote, 205-6060. And you can also check out their Allstate Agency website or their Facebook page to connect with them today. Play taking place all the way over on the far side in front of the Althoff bench, where Knutson comes up with it at midfield, tries to send it up into the offensive zone, but that ball is blocked out. Now a couple of girls run into each other right at the end of the Althoff bench, and that ball ends up going out of bounds.
4 or 5 substitutions going to come in here for Althoff. Maybe bring out some of them starting seniors.
Yeah, they're going to bring in probably some of the sophomores and freshmen, the two to be exact. Julia O'Neill, she was already out there though. 22 goals on the year. Sophomore Liesl Whitener is leading the team with 24 goals, and then you have Jessica Hoffman, the senior, that has 20. So 3 girls with 20 goals or more, and after that, 6 goals belongs to Anderson Foster. So lots of goal scoring from 3, and then it kind of spreads out after that. Collinsville, of course, being led in goals by Courtney Martin. That hat trick against Highland, the game that we had for you last time, gave her 15. She went into that game with 12. Jalen Richardson has 11. Those are the only 2 Kahawks in double-digit figures as far as your goalkeepers are concerned. Claire Rindelman for Collinsville, 1,110 minutes on the year. She has 5, 6, and 3 on the season. She has allowed 29 goals, so she has a goals against average of 2.09. 69 saves on the year, and her save percentage is right at 70%. For Rachel Monken, 1,339 minutes in between the pipes. 13, 2, and 3 is Monken on the year. She has 6 shutouts. 4 of those are solo. 19 goals against, so she has a 1.14 goals against average, and 80 saves on the year has given her a save percentage right at 81%. Collinsville putting on some pressure in the offensive zone. Here is Richardson trying to get around her defender, and that defender, Lantner, I believe, is putting up one whale of a fight. Finally, the ball goes back out to midfield, then back up to Richardson, and Richardson in a little bit of a battle there and is going to win that one as the whistle is blown. It's going to go against Althoff, and I believe that is Sophia Monken out there battling it out with Jalen Richardson.
A little too much from Monken. Richardson stands her ground, draws the foul, and the Kahawks will get this with the restart with the wind to their back.
That's Tucker with the kick. It gets blocked down in front. It gets pushed back up and in by Hensler, and then across the red line, out of bounds, and a goal kick restart will get things restarted here, and it'll be Sophia Monken, who I am going to guess is the twin sister of the goalkeeper, Rachel Monken. They're both seniors, and they both have the same last name. Just a guess. High into that wind, and I can't even believe the ball made it all the way to midfield with that gusty wind blowing like it is out there, but Collinsville comes away with the ball. Here is Alyssa Tucker, and then Tucker loses it, and Althoff takes over. Here is Julia O'Neill. O'Neill, 22 goals on the year, has the ball taken off of her foot. Courtney Martin sends it up, but out of bounds, so Althoff will get the ball back. 31-15 left to play here in this first half. No score. On a very blustery, windy night here in the Midwest. Last game of the week for you. We'll have a long day on Saturday as we have the Collinsville Boys Invitational Track and Field Meet. 32 teams scheduled. Last I checked yesterday, 26 of those teams have paid their fees, so they're ready to go. Here is Destiny Johnson. Johnson got caught in between a couple of defenders, had to bring it back, does so to Faith Liljegren. Liljegren goes to kick the ball, and there's a goal by Courtney Martin, I think.
I think it was Alyssa Tucker.
Yeah, it might have been. I saw Martin's arms go up first, but then I saw her go over and smack Alyssa Tucker.
His first shot in by Liljegren, who slipped. It went off of Martin, who just knocked it back away, and it went to Alyssa Tucker, who kicked it in.
Comes with 30-41 left in the first and gives Collinsville a 1-0 lead. And for Alyssa Tucker, her first goal of the year. Alyssa Tucker gets Collinsville on the board. And then, telling you what, it's a little rough out there. Destiny Johnson just got shoved off the ball, and now it looks like the rain's going to pick up again. And let's hope the wind doesn't shift directions, because if so, we'll have to shut the window. And then we'll get that glare from the glass, and we don't want that, plus raindrops on the glass. I really thought the rain was over by now, matter of fact. Well, according to this radar, there's not much going on, so probably just a few sprinkles. The umbrellas popped out, though, didn't they?
2 sprinkles, strong wind.
Oh, yeah.
The Kahawks got that big goal with the wind to their back. A little something here to work with, and plenty of time still left in this first half.
First 10 minutes have gone by. Collinsville scores a goal with about 40 seconds left to go in that first 10-minute span, and the Kahawks have a 1-0 lead. Collinsville still with some pressure in the offensive side of things, and the ball ends up going across the line, and they're going to say that it was last touched by Collinsville. That took a minute for him to decide, didn't it?
She threw it in, and it just kept going east to west there.
Well,
and
look,
went straight out of bounds.
You can see that Sophia Monken is setting the ball on the ground to get ready to kick it, and without touching it, the ball starts rolling towards her. There's the restart, and she's got a good leg, man, because she gets that ball out to midfield with that wind coming right at her. There's a nice headshot by Knutson up to Liljegren. Liljegren splits the defense, gets it up to Courtney Martin. Martin over on the right wing, tries to turn the corner. Gets around one defender for just a moment, and all the way over in the corner, she sends one up toward the goal off of a head of one of the Lady Crusaders, then off of the body of one of the Kahawks, and out of play. A little bit more of a steady rainfall in here now. Must be so light that it's not showing up on the radar. Head ball back into the Collinsville offensive zone. Althoff trying to get it out. There's Monken. Now with Chitwood, and Liljegren comes up with it over to Knutson. Knutson all the way over onto the far side for Siverly. Siverly pinches in on the defensive side just a little too much. Almost got burned there a little bit, but Paige Bauer is back there to take control, and she pushes the ball out of bounds. Althoff will have a throw in from the far side as they try to get a little offense going, but right off of the throw in, right off of the head of one of the Althoff players and out of bounds. So Siverly will throw the ball back in. Out to midfield on the far side sideline, and the wind takes a hold of that one and blows it right over the Collinsville bench. Got some dark clouds moving in, don't we? Another whistle and another free kick coming up here for Collinsville. This one's going to be from about 35 yards away. And Alyssa Tucker, who has scored the only goal thus far, will take care of that responsibility.
Got a good chance to send it all the way with the wind.
Oh, yeah, that's a line drive shot off of a head and just wide through the right post to the right of Rachel Monken. Let's thank Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is a T3 certified tire center. They handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups. The not-so-basic stuff, too, like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing, and they have 3 locations, Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Call 345-0611. Online, mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook. 1-0 in favor of Collinsville. 26 minutes left to play here in this first half. Senior night for the Althoff Crusaders. Here is Knutson for Collinsville. Sends it over to one of the Kahok seniors, Courtney Martin. Last year, by the way, Collinsville beat Althoff at Collinsville by a score of, I believe, 7-0. I'm not mistaken.
It was definitely at Collinsville because we haven't played Althoff on the road in quite a few years, like Coach said in the interview.
6-1, sorry. 6-1. Courtney Martin had 2 of those goals as a junior. And she leads the team this year with 15. All the way over on the far side. That seems to be where the majority of the play has taken place so far in this game. Off of the chest of Knutson. Knutson trying to send it up to Martin. Gets tangled up into the legs of Abby Lantner. And then out of bounds off of Martin. So Lantner will throw it back in for a restart here for Althoff. But Collinsville's Bauer gets her foot on the ball and then ping-pongs right off of the head of both Martin and Lantner. And now the ball out of bounds. Last touch by Collinsville. So Althoff will get the ball back. 24 minutes, 50 seconds left to play here in this first half. Play at midfield. Here's Liljegren. Gets it up and trying to find Martin, but Monken is going to come out of goal and pick that up before Courtney Martin can even get a chance to get there. JV won 2-1. Both goals in the second half, and I believe both of them were scored by Hope Ortiz. I know she scored the first one because I watched it, and then I missed the second one, but I saw some of the other players giving her a high five, so I figured it was her that scored as another shot goes wide and across the end line. So Althoff will have another goal kick restart into that stiff wind. Well, nothing else to do around town tonight. Might as well pull up a chair and watch us here on KHOKsports.com. Cardinals are off. Blues are golfing. And all the other high school outdoor sports rained out.
Can watch the Winnipeg Jets.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. Paul Stastny fans still in the house, yeah. Here is Faith Liljegren. Gets blocked out by the defense for Althoff. Up to Bauer. Or, excuse me, that is Alyssa Tucker, who just scored the goal. And
again.
She just scores another one. Alyssa Tucker gets the first two.
She had lots of space there, about 30 yards out. Reared back, kicked it in, and it hit that far corner away from the goalie before she could react to it.
Wow. I'm sure Alyssa Tucker will tell you that she wouldn't expect to score 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of the game.
Collinsville goal scored again by number 11, Alyssa Tucker.
Her second goal of the game. Does she have any coming in?
No, she did not. She gets her first 2 goals here in this game.
First 2 goals of the year.
Nice place to do it because this Althoff team is good.
She battled some injuries earlier, and she's back and scoring a couple goals tonight.
Here's Knutson moving the ball up to Destiny Johnson. Johnson had the ball skip off of her foot onto the foot of Kyra Humbert for Althoff, and Humbert sends the ball up into her offensive zone, but there's Paige Bauer trying to send the ball back. Lexi Munoz also in there trying to do it. Boy, did you see that ball curve? Man, that ball just traveled. And you see these ducks get stuck in midair. Ducks are trying to fly into the wind. Looks like they're not going anywhere. I'm telling you. 25, 35 mile per hour gusts. Here's a nice job by Paige Bauer to prevent a little bit of a breakaway there by Jessica Hoffman. And Hoffman would have got one more step on her. It would have been just her and Claire Rindelman. Throw in coming from Whitener to the middle and kicked back out of there by Collinsville as Richardson tries to come up and collect that ball. She does so just enough for Tucker to get a hold of it off of the body of Liljegren to Jalen Richardson. Now the ball knocked out of bounds. Collinsville will have the throw-in restart. Right here in front of us, it'll be Bella Hensler with the honors. Hensler trying to find Liljegren off of her back and right to Jalen Richardson. Richardson in another battle there with Anderson Foster as the wind gets a hold of that ball and blows it across the line. Jalen Richardson's been a little physical out there today, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's not giving up on the physicality there, holding her ground and not letting the defenders manhandle her like that.
Althoff trying to get the ball out of harm's way, but Collinsville trying to keep it down there in scoring position. Here's Knutson. She sends one towards the goal. One bounce, and Monken pushes it off to her left with her hands and then picks up the loose ball and brings it out. 21-15 left to play here in this first half. Collinsville up 2-0.
That one died.
Yes, it did. Here is Johnson. See, Collinsville's going to have this problem in the second half. So might as well score as many as you can in the first half with that gusty wind at your back. Here is the 2-goal scorer, Alyssa Tucker. Tucker gets it up to Knutson. Knutson will send it back to the defense, and Siverly. Siverly pushes the ball back up toward the middle off of Destiny Johnson. Johnson back to Knutson. Had a girl coming up right behind her that she didn't see and got the ball out of there cleanly, but the ball did get shoved back toward midfield. And Althoff sends the ball on a pop fly right to the midfield stripe where Siverly kicks it forward, gives to Bauer, and Bauer scoots it up the far sideline before it eventually goes out of bounds. And now Althoff will have a restart of their own of the throw-in variety all the way over on the far side. Let's thank Brad Keene at Visionary Wealth Advisors in O'Fallon. Brad is a 1988 graduate of Collinsville High School. He is a wealth management advisor with Visionary, and he has 22 years of experience in that field. You can call him today for financial advice, work on your investment portfolio, retirement, or estate planning. Visionary Wealth Advisors with offices in Edwardsville, St. Louis, and O'Fallon. You can call Brad Keene today at 726-3008 or online, visionarywealthadvisors.com. 2-0 in favor of Collinsville. 2 goals by Alyssa Tucker has given the Kahawks their 2-0 lead as we are halfway through this first half. And play stopped on the far side. Another throw-in coming for Althoff. And they throw it in right to Alyssa Tucker, and then it goes out of bounds off of an Althoff body. Well, now are they gonna change their minds? Oh, they're gonna let a substitution come in.
Courtney Martin is ready to come in here. It's their opportunity, and they'll have her come in, and then let Collinsville throw the ball in.
Alyssa Tucker goes to the bench, gets a high five from Coach Smith.
They gave up on them flags in the corners.
Oh, yeah, and they stood them back up a number of times, and the wind just blows them right back down. Everybody knows where the corner kick goes.
This is, well, speaking of corner kicks, Kahoks are going to get one here.
Boy, if you can get one and let that wind push it, it might push it right into the net. If you aim right at the press box, and then the wind will push it back down the other direction. It'll be Jalen Richardson over there taking this corner kick for Collinsville.
So that in the Granite game where Granite girl kicked it straight in the net off the corner.
Yep. Here's Richardson. It's low, and coming out front, Paige Bauer sends one high over the net. And another goal kick restart coming up here for Althoff with 18 minutes left to play in this first half. 2-0. Collinsville, 2 goals by Alyssa Tucker. One about 10 minutes in, the other one about 17 minutes in. High pop fly that ends up dying before it gets to midfield. Rain has stopped because the umbrellas have gone away. Now Althoff trying to get into the offensive zone, but that didn't last very long as Faith Liljegren sends the ball back to her defense. Here is Bauer sending it over to Munoz. Munoz back up to Liljegren. Liljegren trying to split the defense. Had the ball come right off of her body and back down onto her feet. Liljegren moves up the middle. Nice play there by the Althoff defender, and they're going to call Liljegren on a little body contact foul there.
She put on some good moves there, moving that defender around, but she stayed with her and then drew the foul.
Nice play there by Liesl Whitener. Oh, Whitener just took one off the body right there. Here's Jalen Richardson again, just holding her ground. Over to Destiny Johnson. Far side now for Riley Harris. Riley Harris got her first goal of the year in that 7-0 win against Highland. As did Joseph Boluli. And now the ball up the far side sideline. Here is Knutson, who gets it back out toward the middle. Moves it up to Munoz. Munoz sends the ball back up field to Courtney Martin. Martin was playing the first part of this game over on the far side. Now she's over here on the left wing, and Althoff comes away with the ball. They send it up through midfield. And here is Munoz sending it right back up to Courtney Martin. Martin near sideline right in front of us, being pushed around there by Lindsay Odell. And Odell, last one to touch that ball, so Courtney Martin will have the throw-in restart right at midfield, right underneath our location here. With 15:50 left to play here in this first half of a 2-0 game. A 2-0 score in which Collinsville has the lead. Martin's throw-in goes over Richardson, but comes into Johnson. Now, Johnson has the ball at her feet, dribbles her way upfield. Tried to do a little stutter step stop move there with the ball, but the ball didn't cooperate. So now Althoff comes away with it. They move the ball up through midfield, but Knutson sends it back over into the midfielders. Alyssa Tucker, who has both the goals here in this game, sends it on up to Richardson. Richardson trying to cut through the middle, blocked out there, trying to get the ball back. Richardson's just dogging it out there today, man. She is all over the place. Here is Knutson. Knutson on the far side now for Siverly. Siverly sends the ball back up toward the middle where it finds a couple of the defenders for the Althoff Crusaders, and then the Crusaders send the ball all the way up the far sideline. Paige Bauer turns around, sends it back up right in front of her bench. Althoff with it. Now a pass that was intended right in the middle there for Julia O'Neill went past her and right to Destiny Johnson for Collinsville. Here with a head of steam, but unable to get there for Collinsville, Bella Hensler.
Hensler trying to save it before it goes out of bounds. Couldn't get there in time.
Lindsay Odell will throw it in here for Althoff with 14 and a half minutes to go in this first half. Kelly Ames comes back into the game for Althoff and immediately runs right into Courtney Martin. Loose ball, and it's going to be picked up in the middle of the field by Gigian. Knutson gets ran into, but still manages to stay with the ball. Trying to thread a pass up there for Courtney Martin. Martin totally passes up Lindsay Odell, and then she couldn't quite keep the ball from crossing the end line. And that ball will go right back to Althoff with 13:45 left to play here in this first half. Let's thank the Junior Service Club of Collinsville. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club has been providing women in the Collinsville area an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all of which goes to help the needy in the Collinsville area. They have a new website they want you to check out. CollinsvilleJSC.com is the Collinsville Junior Service Club's new website. That's CollinsvilleJSC.com, so you can check out the new website for more information or check out the Collinsville Junior Service Club's Facebook page. Throw in, out front, goes all the way around the other side, and I believe Monken was trying to make sure that no one there from her team touched that ball before it went across the end line, as Collinsville was the last one to touch it. So it is going to be Sophia Monken with another goal kick restart here for Althoff.
Went in the box, went right in front of the box. They're pretty dangerous for Althoff. Riley Harris Collinsville over pursued a little bit and allowed it to go clean out of the box for Althoff's goal kick.
Anytime that ball rolls in front of the goal with that big gusty wind, you have to be a little bit worried. Crusaders trailing 2-0 to Collinsville. Collinsville trying to win their 8th game in a row against Althoff. Here's Courtney Martin with a shot, not a save over there by Rachel Monken, as she dives out to her left and gets both hands on it, shoves it out to the side, and that ball ends up going out of bounds. Last touch by Althoff, so Collinsville will get to keep it down there.
Save off to her left. You never know where that ball's going to go, so even though it looked like it was going to go out of bounds, she dives to her left to save it and knocks it out of bounds.
Courtney Martin throws it in from the far side, all the way in through the box. Loose ball, and Monken, Rachel Monken, dives on top of that one before any further damage could be done.
Dives on it at the last second. Another second, and Riley Harris would have got to it right there in front of the box for the Kahoks.
Monken skies one that the wind picks up, and that ball traveled probably 20 yards. Off of a couple of heads, and another head. Knutson trying to get there, and that ball pops up and lands inbounds, but eventually falls out of bounds. Collinsville will retain possession. It'll be Bella Hensler with the throw-in to Faith Liljegren, and that is off her head, and then she gets taken out by Ames. No whistle on the play. Now it is a race as Munoz is trying to get there ahead of Whitener and does so. As the ball ends up out of bounds, 11 minutes left to play here in this first half, 2-0 in favor of Collinsville. Hensler again will have a throw in, but deep down into the Althoff offensive zone. Loose ball picked up. Moved up, and Collinsville's defense has that ball bounce right over their heads. Munoz comes up with it, sends it back out up the near sideline. Courtney Martin had to go over her head, but she rushes toward the ball and catches up with it just in time, but tries to pass it back to Richardson, but off of her knee and out of bounds that ball went. I just noticed that the Althoff girls have their names on their jerseys. A little push down of Jalen Richardson there, no call, and then a little bump from behind by Courtney Martin on Madison Geegan, and they call that one. Out of bounds it went, off of a head. Tucker who has both goals, trying to get the ball up to Liljegren, just past her legs, and now O'Neill sends the ball up as Althoff is trying to make some noise offensively, but Collinsville's Paige Bauer sends that ball out with a strong kick to get that ball out of harm's way. Althoff will retain possession, and they'll have a throw-in right at the end of the Collinsville bench on the far side with 9:45 left to play here in this first half. Ball comes in, and it's loose, and back toward the end line, and now over the end line.
Nice touch by Bauer, and Althoff will get the corner kick.
Althoff's going to get a corner kick. It'll come from the far side, and it'll be taken by Sophia Monken. So Althoff with their first opportunity at a corner kick. I don't even know if you're going to be able to get that bad. That ball's already starting to roll. Before she can even get her foot on it, that ball started to roll. And that wind pushes that ball all the way out. Yeah. About 15 yards out. There's one that's popped up into the air. Collinsville finds a way to come up with it. Munoz gets it up to Courtney Martin. Martin pops the ball up over the midfielders' heads and into the defense, but Collinsville trying to retrace their steps and get back there as that ball ends up going out of bounds. Martin throws it in. She's got Jalen Richardson in the open and in the box, and, well, I tell you what, a little bit of a straighter kick, and if she didn't have an Althoff Crusader in her right pocket, that ball probably went in because Monken committed way early on that shot.
She committed early. Richardson got the shot off past the goalie, but it was too far off to the right and out of bounds.
Yep, if Richardson wouldn't have had that defender on her right hip, she probably would have had a cleaner shot than the one that she ended up taking. Here once again is Sophia Monken with the goal kick restart duties. All the way out to midfield into that stiff wind. Ball pops up in the air and back to the Collinsville defense. On the far side, Siverly. Siverly gets taken out. Yep, pushed down. So Collinsville will get the restart here. And it'll be Paige Bauer who will take care of that responsibility. About 80 yards away from the goal. But with that wind, she might be able to get it all the way there. Low kick, right off of a head. That thumped. Heard that one all the way up here in the press box. Off of the head of Whitener. There's a bouncing ball, and it has a little bit of a spin on it, so Rindelman comes out. And now Claire will send one past midfield as she has the wind at her back. Sent down by Althoff, but there is Knutson up to Liljegren. Liljegren lost control of the ball momentarily. Now back to Hensler. Now back to the defense, and it's going to be Munoz who pops the ball up toward midfield. That ball ends up out of bounds. Collinsville will have the ball.
Martin going to throw it in right here in front of us.
Destiny Johnson comes back into the game. Jalen Richardson will head to the bench for a little breather and some liquid refreshment. Martin throws the ball back in, uses that wind in her favor and sends it all the way upfield, and then it comes right back to her. Here's Knutson on the near side sideline, just shoving it out of bounds. As we come up on 6 minutes left to play here in this first half, Collinsville leads 2-0 on 2 goals by sophomore Alyssa Tucker, her first 2 goals of the year.
This one was thrown in by Althoff and went straight out of bounds. Maybe it never even came in.
Might not have. That one's headed right back out of bounds off of an Althoff noggin. So Courtney Martin will get to throw the ball in yet again. She does so all the way downfield. It comes all the way back out after hitting off a body. Knutson gets it over to Bauer. Bauer sends it toward the goal. Ooh, that took a tricky hop. And Rachel Monken had to be on her heads and toes there to make that save.
She thought it was going right there in her chest. She was going to square up down to her knees to get it, and it bounced up high on her.
There's Courtney Martin once again. Now over to this side. Back over to Tucker. She threads the needle for a pass for Liljegren. That ball hit somebody and then stayed up in the air for what seemed like 5 minutes, just spinning there in the wind. Hensler sends it out toward the middle. And now a ball that is going to be probably the best scoring opportunity, but Paige Bauer takes care of that. Nice play by Paige Bauer. Not only that, but the ball stays in bounds and then goes off of one of the Althoff Crusaders as Bauer just banks it right off of the body there of Jessica Hoffman, as Hoffman was coming in with a head of steam, thinking she had goal-scoring opportunity written all over it.
Just a clean slide tackle in there by Bauer. Makes that play on the ball.
4.5 minutes left to go here in this first half. Collinsville has 2 first-half goals. As the ball comes out, Althoff sends it back up. There's a little pop fly shot that's going to bounce right to Rindelman. Easy save there for Claire. She'll hold on to the ball for a minute and let everybody clear out. She'll send it back out to midfield and beyond with that nice gust of wind right underneath that ball. Bounces around a little bit. Althoff trying to settle it down. There is Faith Liljegren getting her feet on the ball and trying to split the defense. Turns the circle. Can't find any room. And Knutson will send it up over on the far side for Riley Harris. And now Knutson gets taken off the ball, but not far enough as Faith Liljegren still manages to take control. Sends it over on the far side, trying to find Riley Harris, but sent that ball a little bit too far for Harris to come up with it. 3.5 minutes to go. First half action. Alyssa Tucker scores about 10 minutes in and 17 minutes into this game. 2 goals about 7 minutes apart. Ball out of bounds once again. And Collinsville will throw it in over on the far side. It'll be Siverly giving it up now for Martin. Martin throws it toward the goal, and it is head-butted right back out. I thought for a minute they pointed the other direction, but I guess Collinsville was going to get to keep it.
They're just signaling for the substitution to come in.
Martin.
And now they're throwing it in.
Throws the ball back in toward the goal. Destiny Johnson right down her backside, and there's a ball that goes right through the goal crease area and out to the other side. With 2.5 minutes left to play, let's thank Pack Mail. A locally owned and operated Pack Mail is. Mr. Ryan Combs handles that responsibility. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because you are a neighbor. Pack Mail also offers shipping materials and containers. They offer P.O. boxes as well as climate-controlled self-storage. You can visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipStLouis.com or call 346-4884. Knutson at midfield for Collinsville. Sends the ball up, trying to find Courtney Martin. Does so for a moment, but then O'Neill hits that ball right out of bounds, so Courtney Martin will have an opportunity for another throw-in restart here. That ball comes down and gets sent back out to midfield where Bauer had it for just a moment. Now up to Munoz. Munoz finds Martin. Martin near sideline. Just before that ball went out of bounds, he was trying to find Destiny Johnson, but the young lady that was defending Destiny Johnson, Anderson Foster, kicked that ball right out of bounds. 1:15 left to go here in this first half. 2 first-half goals by Collinsville has given the Kahawks a 2-0 lead. Right now, Collinsville definitely having the better end of the play as they're keeping the ball into their offensive zone a lot more often. There's another weird bouncing ball that Monken had to come out. Got her hands on it, but it was going wide anyway, but still took a weird bounce.
All she could do was get her hands on it, but it had so much speed going away from her that it just went out of bounds. Kahoks will get the corner kick.
And spin. Looks like they're going to do their senior night festivities here at halftime. Never seen that done before. Corner kick for Collinsville. It's low, it's short, and it rolls right in front off of a couple of heads. Another head there. It's on the ground. Everybody's trying to kick at it. Comes in front. Bauer tried to send it up toward the goal, blocked out by all the bodies in front, and then a whistle will stop the action, and Collinsville will get another corner kick here. They better hurry as there's only 15 seconds left. And now with 10 seconds left, they send it in, and the wind pushes that one down again. Then it was off a couple of hands as that ball ping-ponged around a couple of bodies, ended up touching a hand, and nothing's going to happen between now and the end of the first half. And at the end of one, Collinsville leads on 2 goals by sophomore Alyssa Tucker, 2-0. We'll be back in just a little while, tell you a little bit about the first half and preview the second half. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network. Once again, we welcome you back to George Martz Field here on the campus of Althoff Catholic High School. Todd Duke and Chris Kettler along with you as we are getting ready for the second half of play. First half, all Collinsville in that first half. Alyssa Tucker, the sophomore, scores her first 2 goals of the year. One about 10 minutes in, the other one 7 minutes later, and Collinsville has a 2-0 lead. And Chris, Althoff really never threatened there in that first half.
No, they were going against the wind. They struggled with that. Only got to the ball to Rindleman one time. The Kahoks had more room to work with down there on the other end. We'll flip all that here in the second half here and see the Kahoks can't just get the defense to stack up here and try to hold up, because the goal is going to be hard to come across.
Yeah, and a weird turn of events here. This is the first time you and I were talking about it here off microphone. I've never been to a game where they celebrated senior night at halftime of the game. So instead of the girls going off and getting a rest and getting a pep talk, they had to deal with senior night festivities. So kind of strange if you ask me, and we'll see how they handle it.
Yeah, I think our coach, Coach Smith, has always just done it right before warm-ups, get it over with, and then they can concentrate on the game. No other distractions than that the rest of the time.
Sounds like a plan to me. There's a rolling ball that Claire Rindleman picks up as we are underway in half number 2. Collinsville scoring both their goals in the first half. During the first 10 minutes of the first half, they had that strong wind at their back. Now they'll be kicking that ball into the wind, so we'll see if that hampers their opportunities, and we'll also see if Althoff can pick up their offense a little bit since they have the wind at their back this time. Collinsville sends the ball up into the offensive zone, but it doesn't stay there for very long, and back to midfield we go. Now all the way over on the far side, Bella Hensler gets it and sends it back up. And over there on that far side, I believe that was, well, I can't tell the number from here. Right now the 9s, the 8s, and the 6s all looks like 8s. Althoff sends the ball back out toward midfield. Far side, Hensler sends it back up to Courtney Martin. Martin again over on the far side. Had the ball go out of bounds, and apparently they're going to say it was off of Courtney Martin. So Althoff gets the throw in, but the ball spins and comes back out toward midfield, and a ball that's going to roll all the way down to the far side corner, and Rindleman will come out and pick that ball up, and we'll send it back down into that stiff wind. We'll see how strong her legs are here. That's not bad. That actually almost made it to the 45-yard line. Althoff sends it right back in, though, and over on the far side trying to chase it down was Lexi Munoz. She couldn't get there, and Althoff will throw the ball into their offensive zone as we are just a couple minutes into the second half, and a ball off of a body will roll to Rindleman once again. Rindleman didn't have to make a save at all in that Highland game as she played just the first half, and Becca Burkhart didn't have to make a save in the second half in that Highland game.
I think she only touched the ball one time in there in the first half, and now it's gone back here about 3 or 4 times already here in these first 2 minutes.
Yeah, but it's just kind of rolling back to her. Nobody's really providing any kind of pressure, so really I don't even think you can count them as shots on goal as play takes place right in front of us. Here is Abby Lantner. Lantner getting the ball up and then running into a little resistance as Collinsville and Katie Knutson just got grabbed right there by Lisa Whitener, and that one was not going to go uncalled.
Right there in front of the center ref, easy call there. Makes the call on the grab, and Kahoks get the restart.
Hensler sends it up to Knutson. Knutson will send it up the sideline. That wind pushes it right towards the goal where it takes a little bit of a weird bounce, and then Monken comes out and jumps right on top of that ball right at the same time that Jalen Richardson's feet got there.
Dangerous play to come out that far for the ball like that. If Richardson's foot kind of sent it away, Kahoks would have had a wide open shot at the goal.
Yeah, Monken dove on that ball and landed on the ball at the same time that Richardson got her foot on it. So that was a little bit of a strange play. Now a ball that gets away. Rindleman comes out and picks it up before any offensive pressure can be put on the goalkeeper for Collinsville. 36.5 minutes left to play here in this second half. Collinsville leading 2-0 on 2 first-half goals by Alyssa Tucker. Now the ball down at midfield where Althoff trying to send it up into the offense, but there is the speedy Bella Hensler that'll go track it down first, and Hensler will just send it out of bounds. Althoff will get a throw-in from all the way over there on the far side. And they'll throw it down right in front of Alyssa Tucker, and now Althoff trying to get in there, but the ball ends up going across the end line, and it's going to be a corner kick here for the Crusaders.
More advantageous time now for Althoff with this corner kick with the wind at their back for the first time.
Telling you, aim for us up here in the press box, and the wind will pick it up and carry it back toward the goal. Here is that corner kick. It's high, and the wind keeps it up for a little while and keeps it up there at enough for Collinsville to come away with it defensively. Now Courtney Martin trying to take control of it offensively. She sends it up the line to Jalen Richardson right in front of the Althoff bench. Richardson couldn't get around the defenders, though, and that ball ends up being sent out of bounds. Collinsville will get to keep it. Let's thank Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville. Rich's has everything from hi-fi to hi-fi. I got vinyl. If not, Rich's Record Emporium does. It's a great place for you to start your album collection. Everything from new and used records to remastered originals. Everything from classic rock to country to jazz and more. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville. Online, richesrecordemporium.com, or call 200-9287. Claire Rindelman had to come out of goal and kind of make a sliding save there on a ball that wasn't even close to the goal, but nevertheless, she gets into a little bit of action.
She committed to chasing it down and just had to slide at it to clear it away. Otherwise, she was caught way outside the goal box.
Leitner will throw the ball in now for Althoff over on the far side, and nothing but purple there for a while off of Hensler, off of another head, and Knutson off of her head. And then there's a rolling ball that's going to go across the end line. And this one is going to result in a goal kick restart here for the Kahawks. As Rindelman gets the ball in from the ball girl over on the far side. Just under 34 minutes left to go here in this second half. Collinsville with 2 first-half goals lead this one 2-0. Kahawks looking to even their record out. If they can pick up a victory here tonight, 9 wins, 9 losses, and 3 ties with just 2 games left to go before postseason play gets underway. Althoff with the ball as they spend a little bit more time in the offensive zone than they did all of that entire first half. But so far, not a real good quality shot on goal to speak of. Here is Liljegren. Liljegren bumps down her player that was coming in. That's Jessica Hoffman. And so a free kick here for Althoff from about 40 yards away. It'll be taken by Sophia Monken. Sophia and her sister Rachel were recognized here as a couple of the seniors for Althoff. Rachel, the goalkeeper, going to Tulsa University next year on a soccer scholarship. Here is a wide shot. It was low and it had a lot of steam on it, but it just went to Rindelman's right. And she thus did not have to make a save.
A little too much straight on that one. Would like for it to bend away a little more.
I don't know if she was afraid to get it up in the air because of the wind, but that ball stayed very low. Here is Paige Bauer with the goal kick restart for Collinsville. And that ball gets sent right back across the end line.
Do it again.
And we will do it again.
I'm not going to try to chase that ball way down on the end zone there.
And then the ball that they were going to use to get it restart gets away. Clock continues to run. And Bauer just now gets the ball back from Rindelman. And is about ready to send it back out again. Althoff didn't have that much of a problem either getting the ball to midfield, same as Collinsville. So the ball stays pretty much at this end of the field thanks to the wind, as it did in the first half. Collinsville able to capitalize and get a couple of goals in. Now, Kahawks have to play with that wind going right at them, and so far it's been a lot of defensive play here for Collinsville, but so far up to the task. Ball comes back in, and Courtney Martin pops it right up into the air, and the wind takes it out of bounds. Throw in up the sideline, and that one is going to go out of bounds. So this time Collinsville will get to take over.
It's going to take about 40 minutes of solid defense here because the Cavs aren't going to get many opportunities at the other end of the field.
Nope, we know they have the defense that can do it. After holding Highland to no shots on goal and only allowing the defending 2A champions Triad 1 goal. Here is Faith Liljegren. Liljegren brings it across the line and centers it for Courtney Martin, but it goes right through her legs and out the other side.
I wonder if she lost it. Went off of an Althoff player back of her foot, and that led Martin to be too far up the field to get it.
All it takes is someone to barely touch that ball, and it'll change directions. We've played the first 10 minutes here of this second half. Collinsville still leading 2-0 on 2 first-half goals by sophomore Alyssa Tucker. Her first 2 goals of the year. Althoff with control of the ball, but they're in the Collinsville offensive end. And now up the far side sideline. The ball comes in. Althoff sends it back up across midfield, but chasing it down over there and letting it go out of bounds is going to be Lexi Munoz, and then she'll pick it up for a throw-in restart, or she'll give way to Bella Hensler. At midfield, far side. A couple of bodies touch that ball, and it's going to go across the end line, and
keep on going.
It is. The ball keeps on rolling. If there wasn't a fence there, it'd make it all the way down to, what is that out there? Foley? No?
Frank Scott Parkway.
Frank Scott Parkway, yeah. Another goal kick restart coming up here for Collinsville.
The referee has asked for a clock stoppage, and he wants this ball.
I don't know why. What's he trying to check on the ball here? Yep, that's a ball. Well, while they're doing that, let's go ahead and
I guess.
Let's go ahead and take Marshall's Transmission in Collinsville. At Marshall's Transmission, they know how much of a hassle it is trying to deal with a broken transmission. That's why the friendly and trustworthy staff at Marshall's can help with all of your transmission troubles. Marshall's Transmission handles all types of vehicles. Just bring it into Marshall's. They will thoroughly inspect the problem, and they'll give you an honest quote. Marshall's Transmission, 263 St. Louis Road in Collinsville. You can call 345-1930. The 2 ball girls are standing over here going, okay, now what do I do?
I've never seen the ref stop a game and
throw a ball out.
Throw a ball out of the field for the play.
Like an umpire looking at a ball and tossing it out. Yeah.
Softball umpire just saying this ball's done for.
Yeah, scuffed up or something. Whistle right at midfield. We'll give Collinsville a free kick from just beyond midfield with 28:20 left to play here in this second half. Into the wind, it stays low, and Knutson sends it up a little bit farther with a little skip now to Liljegren. Now Martin in there, and here comes defensive help while Syverly pinching in, and that ball ends up being popped into the air, and the wind takes care of the rest. Courtney Martin will again throw the ball in from the near side. She throws it in, and it has a little bit of a spin and a little bit of a bend. Comes down. Jalen Richardson tries to put a shot on goal, and then trying for the hat trick was Alyssa Tucker, but that shot went way high over not only the goal, but the football crossbars, uprights, if you will.
They called it off before even Tucker got her foot on it there when Richardson's sliding down, calling illegal play with her down on the ground like that.
So Althoff, with the wind at their back, sends it up to midfield, but it's pushed right back into the offensive zone by Tucker. Althoff gets it back, but then Tucker did a little stutter stop, and the girl that was going in for the slide had to kind of figure out what to do midway through her slide and really didn't. Here's Destiny Johnson. Johnson sends one toward the goal off of an Althoff player in front, and a whistle will stop the action.
Richardson just ahead of the defender there as it was sent in. Call her on offsides.
A little bit offsides. Sophia Monken will get us restarted once again. 26.5 minutes to play here in this second half. On the far side, Ames for Althoff. Now a whistle will stop that play as well.
Ames collided with Destiny Johnson, the Kahawks, and did they call a foul on that, or is it going to be a throw-in?
Guess we'll find out here in a second. Looks like it's going to be a throw-in as Courtney Martin has her hands on the ball. Yeah,
throws it in.
Althoff sends it right back up the sideline, and it ends up going out of bounds again. This time the Crusaders with the ball. Munoz keeps the forward progress from happening, but Althoff will retain possession. Another throw-in from the far side. Up the near side sideline, and this time Siverly sends the ball up. And Collinsville trying to move the ball up, and it's a foot race. Courtney Martin trying to get there. She does so, waits for some help, and was trying to thread a pass in there to Destiny Johnson, but the wind pushed it back the other way. Now here is Richardson. Richardson sends one up into the box, but that ball ends up going across the line. Last touched by Collinsville, so it'll be another goal kick restart here for Sophia Monken for Althoff. Just under 25 minutes to go here in this second half. Todd Duke, Chris Kettler along with you. Collinsville and Althoff involved in a good battle here. Collinsville gets 2 goals in the first half, and that's where we stand right now, 2-0 in favor of the Kahawks. Collinsville pushes the ball out of bounds. Althoff will throw it back in. Cardinals off today as they await the arrival of the Cubbies coming to town. And my next door neighbor offered me a ticket to tomorrow's game. It's the only day that I do not have a game myself, but knowing that I have 32 teams to prepare for Saturday's track and field meet, I politely declined. Althoff with the ball, but the Crusaders trail 2-0. Katie Knutson stood her ground there, and she was just ran into by Julia O'Neill, and O'Neill just went right down to the ground after running into Knutson. Now, Courtney Martin gets past a couple of defenders and couldn't get past the last one as that ball is sent all the way down the field. And a foot race. Lexi Munoz is going to win, and that ball ends up going across the end line. A lot of running and nothing to show for it there for either team, really. But the ball will belong to Collinsville, and they'll throw it in their defensive zone.
Ball was cleared away, but Althoff went 70 yards the other way.
Yeah, it did.
Kahoks throw it in deep in their own zone.
Now Althoff trying to put on some pressure as they get the ball a little bit closer to Rendelman, but that ball ends up being sent back out now, popped into the air, and trying to give it a chase down is Kylie Hebel, but that ball is pushed out of bounds by Paige Bauer. Now Althoff will have a throw in. Toward the goal, popped up in the air. This one comes out of the scrum and heads to the near side sideline, but it's saved from going out of bounds by Abby Lantner, and now right in front. Collinsville was there with their defense to try and clear that out of there, and now a shot on goal, and Rendelman comes out to make her first true save of this game.
Just a wild shot from about 30 yards out and caromed off the back of a Kahok player, but went to Rendelman clean.
And again, the ball finally makes its way to midfield after a couple of bounces, but the initial kick was about 20 yards short of midfield. Ball ends up out of bounds. Faith Liljegren will throw it in from the near side sideline. Excuse me.
Johnson going to battle it here for the Kahoks.
To Knutson. Excuse me. Knutson right off of the thigh of Courtney Martin. And now back out to midfield it goes. Bauer runs into a player. And
get her on that one.
They're going to get her on that one. And Althoff is going to have a free kick from just about midfield with the wind at their back.
Yeah, it was really about 5 yards back, but the one of the players working their way upfield kicked the ball up, and now they're going to restart here at the 40.
Sophia Munkin from about 50 yards away from Claire Rendelman.
Ball's already moving up.
Yep, and the ball moves up a little bit more, and she sends it wide anyway, and even if she wouldn't have, she sent it so far ahead of the pack that Rendelman would have been the first one to touch it.
Not to mention the fact that the ball ended up where she kicked it, about 10 yards in front of where the foul even occurred.
Yep. Got away with an extra 10-yarder there, but it didn't do them any good. We are about halfway through the second half. Collinsville's first 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the game, holding up thus far. But still a long way to go, another 20 minutes. And here comes Courtney Martin up the far side sideline. She threads the ball up, trying to find Riley Harris. Harris overruns the ball. Althoff returns it back the other direction. Collinsville's defense there to stop the initial penetration into the offensive zone, but Althoff comes away with it. And now they make their move into the offensive zone, do the Crusaders. Back up this way. And over to Anderson Foster. Foster back into the middle. Now over onto the far side, still trying to work it up into the middle. I believe that's Jackson with the ball and a slow roller just to the left post. Claire Rendelman scoops the ball up and will send it back out. Time to thank the City of Collinsville. You can check out the City of Collinsville's Facebook page for information on any upcoming events. They have their Movies on Main already planned for the summer. That'll kick off on June the 9th with Despicable Me 3. And then on the 23rd, it'll be the Lego Ninja movie. Plus, they have their movies already set for July and August as well. For more information, you can check out the city's Facebook page. And as always, the City of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District and wishes all district athletes good luck this season. Here's another shot by Monk, and this one's got a chance. That one barely goes over the crossbar.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a good challenge there for the Kahoks and Rendelman. Monken straight on, 30 yards out with the wind to her back, and just sent it a little too high.
Had that ball, it was sinking as it was going, too, and if it would have probably been kicked about 5 yards back farther, that probably might have had a chance to go in. So this time, having that ball roll forward a little bit may have cost them some. Now the ball ends up going out of bounds. All the way over on the far side, Courtney Martin throws it up, and she has got Richardson up there trying to streak up the sideline by herself. Richardson comes away from it and then plants the ball right up into the defense of the Althoff Crusaders, but Collinsville sends it right back. Munoz was held there a little bit. You saw somebody grab onto her shoulder and kind of sling her around, but no call on the play. Or did they?
No, they're just going to throw it out of bounds
okay.
here.
I was going to say, if they did, it was late.
How they was manhandling the forwards there in the first half. There's a little bit of the shoving they're giving to the defense here in the second half. Ball comes way up here.
Yeah, right about the place where Munoz was tugged. The throw-in comes all the way down deep into the Collinsville offensive zone. And then up the far side sideline where Collinsville sends it back down into the offense. But after bouncing off a couple of heads, Althoff comes away with it for a moment. Now the ball popped up into the air and right into the midfield circle that says Althoff Catholic. Nice field here, that's for sure. Here is a chance for Collinsville, but that was thwarted by the defense for Althoff. And now Foster sends the ball up, and that ball is going to have a little bit too much steam on it, and it'll go across the end line. And we'll have another goal kick restart here for Collinsville. That'll be taken by Paige Bauer. 17 minutes to go here in this second half. 2 first-half goals by Collinsville has the Kahawks up 2-0. Bauer sends it upfield. Crusaders trying to keep it down there, and so far that's working out in their favor, but Collinsville gets it up to Destiny Johnson. Johnson puts on a spin move. And for a moment, Collinsville was headed toward the offensive zone. And now Althoff comes away with the ball, and they bring it back up. Foster got it back up once again. Courtney Martin trying to use that speed to her advantage. She breaks it, she shoots, that's going in. Oh, what a save by Rachel Monken. That ball had some bend on it. It had a little wind help, and Monken stuck with it and made a one-hand save.
I thought for sure that was going in, and yeah, Monken saved it with her hand at the last moment.
That ball was headed right for that far left post corner, and Monken got a hand on it just before it went in.
She knocked it so far that it's only going to be a throw-in here on this other side.
Throw in, almost like a corner kick with that wind sometimes, but it
now they'll get the corner kick.
Goes out of bounds. And this time it will result in a corner kick. The throw-in came from Courtney Martin. The corner kick will come from Jalen Richardson with 15:20 left to play here in this second half.
Once again, a great save by that goalie heading to Tulsa.
Here's the corner kick, and Monken comes right out and makes that save. Right on that corner post. Sends it back out, got that wind at her back, and she sends that ball all the way downfield. It's a foot race. Collinsville trying to get there first. Hensler will, and then Hensler will send it. Didn't make it across the sideline. It was across the end line, so it'll be a corner kick coming up here for Althoff now.
Can't tell without the flag with our eyes. So referee on the end there says it once goes over the end line.
I don't know about your eyes, but I got glasses on and I still couldn't see it. Corner kick coming for Althoff. If memory serves, just their second of the game. And it's high outside and off of a head and saved by Althoff from going out of bounds. Now it comes out in the middle off of a body, and then the whistle blows, and that'll stop the action. They called that offside. Ball came out of the box and then was sent back in, but there was already girls there. So once again, Paige Bauer will get things restarted here for Collinsville. Low line drive, skips off ahead, right to midfield. Richardson trying to corral that ball. She can't. Baluli, she comes up with it. Baluli scored her first goal of the year in that victory over Highland. Here is Richardson putting on a nice move, but then she gets kicked in the ankle by Sophia Monken, and that draws a whistle. Collinsville will have a free kick here from about 30 yards out. This one will be taken by Alyssa Tucker, looking for the hat trick.
Set that wall up right where it needs to be for Althoff.
Pop it over their heads, you won't have a problem. There it is, popped over the head, takes a little bend, and once again, Monken gets a hand on it right at the very end, and I think we had a whistle.
Referee blew a whistle as soon as she kicked it, and
we're going to do it again, it looks like.
Not sure where the issue was. Was it not time to kick it yet, or
maybe the referee wasn't ready?
Referee wasn't ready. The Kahoks will benefit from this with another chance.
Here we go. And this one's going to bend out all the way over on the other side. Gets a nice push from that wind, and it's going to go all the way across.
Untouched.
The sideline, yeah, all the way. Althoff will throw it in. Collinsville trying to keep it in the offensive zone and put on some more pressure, which is exactly what they're doing. Here is Richardson. Richardson in the middle. Puts one toward the goal, but that's too high, and it'll go out of bounds. And a goal kick restart coming from the Althoff Crusaders now. Let's go ahead and thank the Collinsville Education Association. CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page. Let's also thank my friend Peyton Blaylock. He is with RE/MAX Alliance. Peyton wants you to know that it's okay to buy and sell real estate. Mortgage rates are still at all-time lows. No one knows any of that better than Peyton Blaylock with RE/MAX Alliance. Call Peyton today, 780-4622 or online, Peyton Blaylock at remax.net. Collinsville leads 2-0. 11 and a half minutes to go here in this second half. This is a very good Althoff team that's only lost 2 games this year, so don't think for any length of time that this game is over, because it's not. Here is Althoff being dangerous. They send one toward the goal, and Rindelman jumps up, makes the save.
Gets that right in the stomach there, and then has to double back, make sure she still has it. Another save for the Kahoks.
Rindelman sends the ball back out toward midfield, and then we're going to have a whistle. It's going to go against Anderson Foster for Althoff, and Collinsville will get another free kick here, but it's going to be from beyond midfield, and this time it'll be Paige Bauer. Bauer takes it, gets into that wind and off of a head and down onto the feet of Baluli. Baluli turning the corner, trying to get around the defender, and that defender will just, oh, really? I thought that they kicked it out of bounds. They're going to say that she kicked it off of Baluli, so a throw-in restart coming here for Althoff. And now it's going to be a whistle against Riley Harris as she ran right into the back of Foster, trying to anticipate that throw-in. Got a little bit too close. Final 10 minutes of this second half underway. Collinsville scored 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the first half, and so far those 2 goals have stood up. Monken with the re-kick out to midfield, and it is Collinsville that comes away with it, up to Jalen Richardson.
Yeah, she was offsides.
Offsides.
Definitely. She just got lost behind the defense there, and easy call.
Monken sends it back up, and now Knutson trying to race and get there. She does, and one of the Althoff girls flies down as she was trying to kick the ball. Riley Harris got there first, and that caused the Althoff Crusader young lady to hit the ground, and now we have a whistle. And this one's going to go against Collinsville, so now Althoff will have a free kick. It's going to be from about 40 yards away, but with that wind at the back, it's almost like kicking from 20 yards away. Far side sideline is where this kick comes from. It's long enough, but it is going to come out the other side, and it's been a couple of times on these free kicks for Althoff that they've been wide.
Just looking for the strikers in the box there. It clears out all of them and goes wide.
Paige Bauer once again will get us restarted here with a goal kick.
You got 2 or 3 balls in the field. Kick a couple of them out.
Ball comes out. Far side sideline. Ping pongs off a couple of bodies and then sent back up, and that one's going to go across the end line. And that'll be another goal kick restart coming up here for Collinsville, which will give us plenty of time to thank the folks at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees is your place for custom apparel for your school, your business, your sports team, and more. All Pro Tees offers a variety of services and options. They will walk you through that process step by step. They pride themselves in being a local Collinsville business, and they specialize in helping their clients promote and grow that business, all with custom apparel. All Pro Tees right across the street from Kahok Stadium, online, allprotees.com, or call 344-2200. I would imagine All Pro Tees is going to be a lot busier than they were with the closing of the Collinsville Sports Shop. Jesse and Donna.
Have they closed already?
I don't think so. Their sign said they were closing in May. Well, it's May, but I don't know if they've gotten rid of everything yet. But the month of May is here, so they will be soon if they have not already.
Final days.
So All Pro Tees is going to pick up a lot of business. That ball skirts that far side sideline. Never went out of bounds. Here's Martin with a 2-on-1. Oh, if she could have just got around the defender. She had Riley Harris all alone in front with no defender there to stop her whatsoever. Now Munoz chases the ball down all the way over on the far side sideline. Collinsville kicks it out of harm's way for at least a moment. Comes down onto the feet of Whitener. Whitener trying to get around her defender, and then off of the body of Paige Bauer. And Bauer, and that ricochet all the way back out toward midfield. And now the ball out of bounds over on the far side, right at the end of the Collinsville bench. Amanda Jackson getting ready to throw this ball back in. 6:20 left to play here in this second half. Collinsville's 2 goals in the first 10 minutes of the first half, standing up thus far. Althoff at midfield. Brings it up to Monken. Monken with a pass up the near side sideline for O'Neill. O'Neill has that ball taken off of her foot on a nice play by Faith Liljegren, trying to find Jalen Richardson, but Courtney Martin's going to get there first. Martin, oh, what a save. Rachel Monken came out of the goal, and if she didn't, Courtney Martin would have definitely scored. Monken came out, challenged Courtney Martin, and Monken wins the battle. Althoff Crusader down on the ground, and we had a couple of, I think her own player ran into her, Monken, and the young lady on the ground after Monken came out and made that stop. And they have called out the athletic trainer, so we'll step aside for just a moment. 5:41 left to go here in this second half. Collinsville leading 2-0. Back in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network. Todd Duke, Chris Kettler, as we welcome you back to Althoff Catholic High School. That was Lindsay Odell, the senior defender for Althoff. She had to be helped off the field. Definitely problems with the right leg. Did not put any pressure on it. Tried to stand up, but ends up being carried off. So we wish her the best, especially she just got recognized here as a senior. Hate to end your senior campaign that way.
Especially not a lot of time to turn around with playoffs coming up. They'll want to have her back.
Throw in by Courtney Martin from the corner area just about, and that ball bounces in front and comes down. Althoff sends it back out to midfield, and we are back underway with about 5.5 minutes to go here in this second half, with Collinsville leading 2-0. That ball is going to end up going out of bounds. Collinsville will have a throw-in restart. Let's thank Cafe Agape in Collinsville. Cafe Agape serves up delicious sandwiches, burgers, steaks, pulled pork, and more. Cafe Agape has weekly lunch and dinner specials, pork steak Wednesdays, meatloaf Thursdays, and fish every Friday. Cafe Agape also offers catering service, and you can get Cafe Agape delivered now through the to-go delivery app. Cafe Agape is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 7. They're located at 703 St. Louis Road in Collinsville. You can call 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233.
Althoff still controlling it down here, far side.
Althoff has not spent a lot of time in their offensive zone. They have spent more time in the second half than they did in the first half, but they still have not been able to get really good quality chances on goal.
Shot here in right on Rendelman.
Rendelman's made a couple of saves. And Rendelman now sends it out, and Destiny Johnson settles it down, and then it's pushed upfield by Collinsville. Here is Courtney Martin trying to use that speed to get there. She finds Riley Harris. Harris sends one in the middle. Destiny Johnson with a shot, and she scores. Destiny Johnson might have just put the icing on the cake here, as Collinsville has a 3-0 lead with just 4 minutes left to play here in this second half.
It was centered in from Riley Harris. Johnson got enough on it. Goalie Monken of Althoff got one hand on it, but wasn't able to clear it away. And 3:57 to go. Kahoks are up 3-0.
Destiny Johnson scores her 7th goal on the year to give Collinsville a 3-0 lead.
So it's a big win. Looks like it's going to be a big win for the Kahoks.
Yeah, looking that way, isn't it?
I think they're going to be a tough out in these playoffs coming up here in a couple weeks.
They, yeah, you can't overlook them, that's for sure, and everyone knows that. So they still, for the most part, are going to have a target on their back.
Even with the 6th seed, yeah, nobody's going to take them lightly.
Nope.
A team that has gone to state the last 3 years.
Here is Paige Bauer, ready to get this thing restarted. 3:20 left to play here in this second half. Althoff's going to bring in some replacements. Always wonder why they never treat soccer like hockey, and when you're down like by 1 goal, pull the goalie.
Sometimes you'll see it. The goalie cheats up a lot, but now they usually keep him back in the goal enough.
Well, I mean, like pull the goalie for the extra attacker. They only do that in hockey. Well, you know, because the goal's a lot smaller. That's not the reason. I'm just joking. Here is Faith Liljegren, who sends the ball up to midfield. It's knocked down there by Sophia Monken. And she tries to turn the corner on the right wing. Instead, she sends it all the way up, and the wind's going to take that one and send it all the way out. That's the problem if you try to send a pass up, and if you miss your teammate going in that direction, the wind's going to take it the rest of the way. So Collinsville will have another goal kick restart here. That'll be handled by Paige Bauer. And it comes with 2:15 left to play here in this second half. Bauer sends it up, and the wind takes it out of bounds over on the far side sideline. Althoff will be able to throw it back in. Monken handles that. She does so. And Knutson is the first one there for Collinsville, and now a whistle will stop the action. Althoff committing some kind of an infraction there, and Collinsville will get the ball back, and Bauer once again will kick this ball and get it restarted if she can make it toward midfield. Always the goal, but the way that wind is blowing, it's a hard task to accomplish here tonight. As that ball skips up again, and the wind pushes it off the far side sideline, and again, Althoff throws it back in, and again, Collinsville sends it back up. Sometimes that ball gets sent into that wind, and the wind just pushes it straight back down to the ground. Here is a shot that's going to be well wide, and out of bounds. And again, Bauer will handle the goal kick restart, and it comes with just a little bit over a minute to go, 65 seconds to be exact. Collinsville looks like they will pick up win number 9 on the year to go 9-9-3. And the Althoff Crusaders will lose just their 3rd game this year and go 14-3-3, I want to say. Can't find my sheet. 40 seconds left. Collinsville with the lead. And now another whistle against Althoff will give Collinsville the ball right back.
Well, just under 30 seconds here, and the Kahoks will even out their record and have the 2 home games next week.
One against Springfield, one against Belleville East. Althoff, they have 1 game remaining before their playoff season gets underway. That'll be Saturday against Alton Marquette. Final 5 seconds left to go in this one, and as the time kicks off, Collinsville will be victorious here tonight by a final score of 3-0. That transitions us into the Chiropractic Works postgame show. Chiropractic Works, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives, all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville, or you can call 343-3602 or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Post-game show heads your way next on the Kahok Sports Network. We welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network as Collinsville victorious here tonight by a final score of 3-0. It was sophomore Alyssa Tucker who scored the first goal about 9 minutes and 29 seconds in to the first half to give Collinsville a 1-0 lead, and it was about 7 minutes later that Alyssa Tucker connected on her second goal. And since she had not scored before this game, she scores her first 2 goals of the year. Destiny Johnson added on the clincher, I guess you will, or the one that gave you a little bit of that feeling that, okay, we got this now. With about 4 minutes left to go in the game, Johnson's goal made it 3-0, and Chris Althoff really never tested Claire Rindleman out that much. She obviously had more work in the second half than she did in the first half, but hats off to Collinsville for putting all the goals in when they had the wind at their back in the first half.
Yeah, I guess it was more advantageous to have the wind at your back the first half. Althoff never got going, even when they had the wind their back in the second half, and the Kahoks got the goals by Alyssa Tucker there in the first half. Maybe a little bit surprising for her to get her first 2 goals of the season, and it all worked out for the Kahoks in the end.
Yeah, of course, we wish the best for Lindsay Odell, who ended up getting hurt there toward the end of that game, right before Collinsville scored that third goal. I hate to see that happen to anyone, but especially a girl who's about a month or a little bit less than a month away from graduating, so she'll probably be wearing some kind of a boot or cast or something on her leg as she goes to collect that diploma here at the end of this month. So, of course, we hope the best for Lindsay Odell. Now, for Collinsville, they improved their overall record to 9-9-3. Althoff falls to 14-3-4. And for Althoff, they have 1 game left. They play at Alton Marquette at Gordon Moore Park in Alton. That'll take place this Saturday before they head to Freeburg on Tuesday of next week to take on Mount Carmel in the first game of the Class 1A Freeburg Regionals. Collinsville has 2 games left. They'll play Tuesday at home against Springfield, and then 1 week from tonight, they will end their regular season at home against Belleville East before they start their playoff push in the Class 3A O'Fallon Regionals against Belleville East on May the 16th. That's on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. They have the late game, so don't hold me to an exact 7 o'clock start. It all depends on the first game at O'Fallon between Belleville West and host O'Fallon. That game is scheduled to get underway at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, May the 16th, so it'll be probably after 7 o'clock by the time we get on the air. So we'll take one more time out. We'll see if Coach Smith sends anyone up to the box for us, and we'll be back in just a moment as the Chiropractic Works postgame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network. Once again, we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network as Collinsville wins this one here tonight by a final score of 3-0. That's on the varsity side. The junior varsity side, the Kahawks also won by a score of 2-1. Althoff got a goal in the first half. Both goals in the second half came from sophomore Hope Ortiz, and she joins us now on the post-game show. Well, congratulations on the 2 junior varsity goals. Kind of walk us through them, if you will. Tell us about each one.
Well, the first one, it was a penalty kick, probably by the 30-yard mark, and I really just focused for the right corner, and I hit it, and it went right in.
Yeah, I got a little help from the wind, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, with the wind at your back, that helps a lot. I saw the first goal, but I wanted to see how you explained it to me as you walked me through it. I thought you scored the second goal, but I didn't see it, so talk me through that one.
I can't remember the second one.
You can't remember the second goal? All right, well, we won't put you on any more pressure on you. Well, go ahead if you remember.
I remember now. Okay, so I got the ball, and my player on the left was asking for it, but I decided to just take it, and so I did, and I got a touch out far away from the player, and then I shot it, and it just floated right in.
All right. Hope Ortiz, are you coming up through the Collinsville school system? Did you go to middle school?
Yep.
At CMS, or did you play soccer there?
We don't have a soccer
Oh, yeah,
team.
that's right. They don't have a soccer team there, do they? So you obviously like to play soccer.
Yes.
kind of a bummer that they don't have a middle school program. So
know.
what did you do? Did you play on some select teams?
I played volleyball.
Oh, you played volleyball.
Yep.
Well, they do have a volleyball team there.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So tell us a little bit about Hope Ortiz. I know you're only a sophomore, so plenty of time for you to decide stuff. But what lays in the future for Hope Ortiz? What do you want to do?
Well, I'm hoping to go to college. I don't know which one yet, but I would like to be an orthodontist, and I'm really interested in working with, to help people, and I think that's the way I would want to help them.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Soccer, is that your main sport, your first love of sports?
Yep.
Yeah, been playing it since you were a wee little one?
Yep, since I was 5.
Since you were 5, so you're getting pretty good at it along the way, huh?
Hopefully, yeah.
I know that Coach throws you out there sometimes on the varsity side of things as well.
Yes.
And that's after you usually play a junior varsity game. So you feel like you still have all that energy left, even though you come in for your second game? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Tell me a little bit about playing soccer for the Kahawks. What's that like for you?
I think I'm very proud to play for them. They're such, the players, we all get along very well, and I like the momentum we have. We build up from each other. I just really like it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good answer. All the seniors helping you out, and the
Yep.
Courtney Martins of the world, everybody
Yes.
helping you become a better Kahawk soccer player and a better Kahawk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting good grades?
Yep.
Yep. All right, you go, girl. I like good grades. Thank you very much, Hope, for the visit. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. That is sophomore Hope Ortiz. She scored the 2 goals in the JV win, as the JV team wins 2-1. Varsity side wins by a score of 3-0. And that is going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. A big thank you to Coach Smith for taking his time to spend with us in the pregame show, to Hope Ortiz for spending time with us in the postgame show, and for Mr. Chris Kettler providing all his color commentary during the game. My name is Todd Duke, and until Saturday morning from Kahok Stadium for the Boys Invitational Track Meet, everybody have a fantastic evening.